Today there was a tragic shooting at the Ascension Catholic School in Minneapolis, Minnesota. People are still trying to figure out what happened. They're discussing the culprit who is dead. 2 children died is the most tragic part. Others were harmed. The reason I'm making this video today is in the midst of the chaos and people trying to figure out what's going on. Something that happened that sort of bothered me. It was the mayor of Minneapolis addressing this, as any public figure leader should. This is Mayor Jacob Frey, Minneapolis mayor. Here's what he had to say after the tragic shooting that took at least 2 children's lives. Here's what he had to say.
Those families are suffering immense pain right now. Think of this as if it were your own. Every one of us needs to be wrapping our arms around these families, giving them every ounce that we can muster. These were Minneapolis families. These were American families. And the amount of pain that they are suffering right now is extraordinary. And don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church. These are kids that should be learning with their friends. They should be playing on the playground. They should be able to go to school or church in peace without the fear or risk of violence, and their parents should have the same kind of assurance. These are the sort of basic assurances that every family should have, every step of the day, regardless of where they are in our country.
So, most of what he said there is fine. He's obviously upset, as are many people. I can't imagine what the families are going through. But the part about stop with the thoughts and prayers, and he even said that the kids were literally praying, which all reports indicate that they were, to be that dismissive about that has always bothered me when one of these shooting tragedies happens. He's a Democratic mayor, and I often see people on the left say, oh, thoughts and prayers, and they're sort of mocking people of faith. What they're saying, the subtext of what they're saying and what they actually believe, to give the devil their due, is that you can enact some gun control law in a nation like the United States where there are literally more guns than people, that you could enact some democratic gun control law that they favor and stuff like this wouldn't happen anymore. Well, it's not that simple. And on top of that, you're sort of making fun of people of faith, of Christians at this Catholic school on the day of the tragedy. That doesn't jibe well with me, and I felt this way for years. Emily Jasinski, I can't talk today, is a conservative pundit. She works with Breaking Points and Unheard. She shared the mayor's comments and had this to say, and boy, does this resonate with me every time I've heard people on the left primarily make fun of thoughts and prayers. Like there's something wrong with doing that. It's good to offer your thoughts and prayers. But Emily had this to say about the mayor's comments. Quote, almost no one ever just says the reaction should be about thoughts and prayers. Even the conservative Christians with whom Frey disagrees on gun control believe in policy solutions of their own. And she lists arming teachers, tighter security, lots of things we could say. Emily continues, he just doesn't like those solutions, which is fine. But it's really time to retire this cheap hit on people of faith, especially in cases where they're actually the direct targets of an attack. You think? She continues, those little kids don't believe the prayers they were saying today shield them from the earthly tragedy or excuse them from doing good works. Frey can make his point about guns just as well without this tired jab. I agree with Emily Jasinski 100% here, and I've always felt that way, that in the aftermath of one of these tragedies, on the day of, when people, whether they're Christians or just offering some sort of warm sentiment, say thoughts and prayers to those affected, thoughts and prayers to the victims, thoughts and prayers to the families. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you want to use your anti-Christian, anti-religious, anti-people of faith bias to make fun of that on a day like today in this tragedy, as this Democratic mayor appeared to do, I don't like it. It rubs me the wrong way. I think it's lowly. I think it's not good leadership. And I wish he'd stop doing it. So, thoughts and prayers to the people affected by this horrible tragedy in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and you should offer your thoughts and prayers as well. There's nothing wrong with it, and we should all be doing it.